The Horrible Gamers podcast may contain content not suitable for all ages. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Horrible Gamers podcast, show number 474, being recorded on February the 3rd, 2025. I'm one of your hosts, Jesus Gonzalez, also known as Jesus Box Out. Today I'm joined by my co-host from the West Coast, the Best Coast, Gunny Chief Henley Merrill is back. Welcome back, Henley, welcome.
Hey, hello, Jesus.
Hello, you're here. Welcome
I'm here.
back.
Hi, everybody.
He survived the fires. He's here. Welcome back.
It's all wet
Gunny.
now. It's raining.
You guys got full reservoirs now, I hear, and all kinds of shit. So that's good.
Yeah, all the water's here. All the water.
All the water's coming back. That's good. And Mayo, he's not here. I don't know what the fuck happened, but he's not here. Where the fuck is he?
I don't know. He didn't even say where he went or what happened.
Where the fuck are you, Mayo? What happened? He's not here, though. That's all I know, and that's not good. That's not good. All right? That's not good. It's not good, Gunny. We're fucked.
No, now we're in suspense. Hopefully we'll find out tomorrow morning.
What he's doing. That's so important, okay, that he can't be here. Yeah, Mayo. Yeah.
Some protest going down in Ohio somewhere.
He's probably out there protesting like always, that fucking guy. Anyways, you can follow us on Twitter or the X _Horrible Gamers. That's @ _Horrible Gamers. Also join us on Facebook, Horrible Gamers Podcast Community. It's a closed group, so anything you post in there stays in there. That means your friends, your wife, your girlfriend, your significant other, your boyfriend, your fucking kid. No one can see this shit but us, the members. We are exclusive members. So we post some crazy shit in there. Not really, but we can, I guess, if we really wanted to. Yeah.
Nothing too crazy.
You can also find the show on Spotify, find us on Apple Podcasts, or anywhere your favorite podcasts are played. And if we're not on that platform that you want us to be on, just let me know, and I will make sure to work with that platform to get us on that platform. That's right. But I'm pretty sure we're everywhere at this point. We're like everywhere, Gunny. We're on everything. I've
Googled a lot of things or whatever. Like, yeah, we're everywhere.
Yeah. It's a fun fact.
We're on YouTube.
We're like on Pandora Music, on Amazon Podcasts, Amazon whatever the fuck it's called. We're
Player
on Spotify,
FM.
Player FM, Stitcher Radio, Apple Podcasts, Pocket Cast,
Overcast.
That's
what I use. I use Overcast.
We're on everything. All right, we're on everything. So find us. You can also find us on Podbean, which is our podcast host. Find us over there. And a big shout out to Redbubble. Head on over to Redbubble. Buy yourself some HGP stuff. There's t-shirts. There's coffee mugs. There's clocks. There's socks and docks.
And blocks.
And blocks. And TikToks. That's how the clock goes. I don't know what to say. Anyways, shout out to Phantom Inc. for the intro music and Broke for a Free for the outro music to the podcast. And let's talk about stuff, Gunny, and video games and news and everything that we want to talk about. Big stuff is happening, Gunny. Big stuff is happening.
Yeah, there's a big one I put there at the bottom of the list, which is I feel like is important.
Fuck? Okay, big news here, Gunny. Big news here. Okay, I want to talk about something, Gunny. I got something to talk about. Big news. You want to hear the news?
I do.
All right. Big announcement. So, Jesus, okay, have been playing some games this week. All right, that's a big announcement. It's huge. I know, it's huge. I hear that it's one of the biggest announcements. I know you guys have been waiting for it. And yeah, I've been playing games, and I played some games. So let's talk about them. The best games, Gunny.
The best.
All right, only the best. Only the best. All right, let's talk about the games that I've been playing this week.
I played a new game, but not.
I actually went through and I've been playing some games. I played a lot of Call of Duty this week. I played on the new maps. Now, the new maps are kind of interesting. The dealership one is kind of cool. I have not played on the yacht yet. It hasn't come up on the rotation for the hardcore playlist. I don't know why. But and then I don't like playing core, so I didn't do the mosh pit where they only have the new maps. So I haven't played on the yacht, but I played on the dealership, and that's an okay kind of map. The Battle Pass, I haven't bought it because I don't feel like buying it. It's like a weird theme. It's like a ninja, fucking purplish ninja theme. for the battle pass. I don't want it. I don't feel like I need it. I feel like with the free stuff I'll be fine.
Here we go with the Fortnite crap, putting it in Call of Duty again.
Yes, yeah. It's kind of weird, right? But yeah, it's really, it seems kind of out of place. I don't know. It seems kind of weird. I feel like Call of Duty needs to go back and get grounded. Like, just go back to like military shit. I think they would gain a lot more. Like, I guess I don't know if I want to say more players, but they would keep a lot more players, I think.
But is this okay? But is this maybe for you as a whatever gen you are? But I'm thinking, like, is this appealing to like the younger audience? That's like,
it has to be. It has to be, right? That's why they're doing it.
Gotten like one of these like community manager fucking whatever people from who worked at Epic who now works for Activision or whatever is like, hey, you know what we did over there? Let's try that over here.
Yeah.
Let's put in the purple ninja suit, see if people will buy it. And yeah.
And people are buying it.
Love it. They've grown up and now they play Call of Duty instead of Fortnite.
Yeah. People are buying it because I have seen people wearing the outfits or whatever from the Battle Pass. So people are buying it. People are buying the skins because they see the skins all the time on the game. Especially that shark skin seems to be really popular, the one with the shark head. And also the this is another one that I think is pretty popular. The shark head one's popular. The Squid Game one was pretty popular. But there's other ones on there too that are pretty popular that I see all the time. Yeah, I played some Call of Duty this week, of course. It's okay. It's Call of Duty, right? I'm working on my gold guns. I got another one gold. Now I'm working on the PP19, which is almost gold. And yeah, that's cool. Anyways, besides all that though, Gunny, I also played another game. Let me look back at my list here. Looking back at my list. I played some more Helldivers 2 this week as well. Just today, actually, I played some Helldivers. And yeah, the Democracy Space Station is back up and running. And so I don't know what the Game Master is doing, but it's back up and running. And there's stuff going on with it. I don't know. Some shit about voting about where it goes next or something. I haven't really kept up with the game since, I don't know, about a month ago. But I've been playing it on and off. I kind of get in there, fuck around, do some missions, and leave.
I keep it installed, but I haven't been playing it myself.
It's a fun game, man. And it runs really good on the Steam Deck if you didn't know, if you have a Steam Deck. That game actually performs pretty decently on the Steam Deck. Yeah, it's kind of crazy how alright it performs on the Steam Deck.
Yeah, I think I played it once on the Steam Deck.
Besides that, though,
but it's installed.
I did play some more of that Norland game. So I did play some more of that too. And I got everyone killed in my town because I declared myself the emperor, and I thought I had a big enough army to fight the Inquisition that was going to come. And I had a big army. I had a bigger army than their army, right? Like, my army was like 100 people. But their army was only 50 people. But their army was like all max level warriors, dude. All of them. And they kind of just wrecked my army. Like, my army did not stand like a chance. Like, they straight up murdered everyone. And my king died and everyone died. And I was like, well, fuck. There goes that save. So I gotta start a new game. I think I might have to build a 300-person army to fight these fuckers or something. How am I gonna do
strategy? Do you ever like research it to see like, hey, what's the best way to
I don't know, man.
Keep the game going? Or do you not do that? Would that ruin it for you?
No, I kind of just experiment myself with it. You know what I mean? Like, I tell myself, all right, next time I'm gonna try this, and I kind of just try it next time. That's kind of how I've been playing the game. I don't really try to do strategy guides or whatever. I kind of just do things different every time. Like I kind of remember, okay, I did this and I don't want to do this time. I learned from that mistake, so let's try this time. And that's kind of how I learned the game. And I've gotten pretty good at it. Like I said, my army was big, dude. My army could like fuck up a lot of people. Like, I could have multiple battles on different fronts and have a decent sized army and still have enough people back in my town to like run the guard post and stuff. So like, it wasn't a lack of soldiers. It was a lack of training for my soldiers, I think. That's what it was. I didn't have enough training for them, I guess. I don't know. They just weren't leveled up enough in their combat skills. Because a lot of them had like pretty high armor too, like heavy armor on. I mean, a lot of them had light armor, but I want to say like 80 of them had like heavy armor on with swords and like multiple weapons. And And no, dude, that Inquisition showed up and fucked us all up. Taught me a lesson. I'm like, holy shit. They really did not fuck around. They came in and fucked us all up. They killed everyone. They killed my king, the prince, the heir to the throne. They killed my king's brother, my king's cousin, everybody. Everyone died. I was like, oh shit. So I guess next time I won't declare myself emperor till I know I have like a 200 to 300 person army with like fully equipped army. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely a fighting chance.
Like I had a fighting chance. I killed a lot of them.
Or you thought.
but they fucked us up still somehow. I don't know. Anyway,
So what was the ratio on it? Like how badly were they damaged versus yours? I mean, well, you were annihilated.
They did get damaged. I know for a fact we did kill a few of them, like quite a bit of them actually. But they still just at the end came out victorious, dude. Like there was still quite a bit of them standing at the end of the battle. I was like, how the fuck do they have like still like 4 squads or 3 squads left? And they had like 50 people. Like I had 100 people with 3 squads, and we all got destroyed. One of my whole squads was archers and like crossbowmen, and they got fucking wrecked, like decimated in seconds. I'm like, how in the hell? We had like a whole squad of archers, a bunch of swordsmen, a bunch of light men, like cavalry people with spears and shit, and like we all got fucking destroyed. I'm like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Anyways, I'm excited to play the new patch though, like the new update. Right now it's in beta, I think, but they're adding walls to the game and they're adding like a new art texture to the game, changing up the way it looks kind of, and adding elevation to the game. So if you have archers, you can put them in elevated platforms or elevated like rocks and mountains to give them better range or whatever. And so that's going to play a role in the game now. That's kind of neat. But yeah, besides all that though, man, I played some other stuff. I did play actually on the Steam Deck today and last night. We were out of town for a bit last night, and I took my Steam Deck with me. I was playing Dome Keeper, dude. And if you haven't played Dome Keeper in a while, it's actually been updated quite extensively recently. I don't know if it was recent or not, but I know it's been updated since I last played it, where they now have like all these different settings you can toggle and all these different like abilities and settings and things. And the game is actually just quite fun, man. Just, upkeeping your little dome, mining stuff. And I had a blast with it, playing with it. It was fun. But besides that, though, the big game that I played this week, of course, was Sniper Elite
Resistance.
Yeah.
I played a lot of that this weekend.
I was like, I know that shit has a different, like a third title to it. But yeah, I played some of that. Yeah, I played quite a bit of it, actually. I ended up playing some of the single player. Actually, I think I died in the single player in my first mission when I was like, I want to say a quarter of the way through the mission. It did that thing where, like I said, a sniper appeared in your game or something. And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. The same thing happened to me.
And some asshole showed up and he straight up ruined everything. Like just fucking ruined everything. He shot me and killed me, and I was pissed off. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be that asshole that goes into people's games. So I went and I started playing the multiplayer where you invade people's games, and that's all I've been doing, dude. Just invading everybody's game, and that shit is hella fun. There's a lot of times where I kill the people and I do really good, but there's also a lot of. There's been I want to say a lot of times, but I want to say maybe 3 times or 4 out of all the times that I've invaded people, I was the one that was shot by the people.
Yeah,
and sometimes
I died most.
I want to say 90% of the time it was against 2 players. It was 2 people playing co-op, and they would just be like, they would outsmart me or like just do something where I would walk into a trap and blow up or something like that. There was one time where one guy, he was actually by himself on the map, and I was up on the tower, like in this like fucking castle wall thing or something up high on like that first level. And I was trying to spot him and I couldn't fucking find him. I was like, where the fuck? He was setting off alarms and shit. I'm trying to spot him with my scope. I didn't find him. Finally, he just shot me from like across the map. I don't know how he spotted me, but he got a headshot, like a perfect headshot on my character from across the. Because all of a sudden the screen pans out, it shows him aiming at me, and it shows him shooting the bullet, and it follows the bullet. And he was like across the map, dude. I'm like, all right, I gotta give it to that guy. That guy is actually pretty good. Like I don't know how the fuck he got me from that far, but he did, and he was good, and he fucked me up.
Oh,
But
yeah, that's fun.
But yeah, playing as Jaeger or whatever, as the sniper that goes into people's games is fucking fun, dude. I have fun playing that shit, going and like trying to hunt them down. Like sometimes you spawn in the game and like you see everybody's dead. Like the whole map.
Yeah.
You're just walking around,
Yeah.
you're like, holy fuck, these guys have cleared everybody out. Everyone is dead in this bitch. You're walking around the map and everybody's dead. You're like, where the fuck are these guys? And like one time I spawned in and there was that level where you're like at the it was like a big field out front and like a mansion, and then the mansion has like a secret base underneath it or something. And I was in that level, and all I hear was gunshots as soon as I start going into the mansion because I see all these dead bodies outside. I walk into the mansion and I hear all these gunshots going off, and I run down there, and these guys were just running through the map, just shooting everything, like with like full on like alarms blaring. They didn't give a fuck, just straight up running through the map, shooting everybody. And as I was walking through this tunnel, they had laid a trap down and I didn't see it, and the fucking trap blew me up. And I was like, "Oh, you motherfuckers!" I'm like,
Yeah.
that's pretty smart. You know, that's pretty smart. Lay a trap behind you and just have the guy walk into it. That's exactly what I did. I just walked right into this shit.
That got me today.
So, but yeah, man, I really like the game. It runs really fucking good. It's pretty good, pretty well optimized.
Not for me. Not for me. It's running like crap.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
So, well, I'm playing on PC Game Pass, and so I downloaded it Friday or Saturday. It came out Friday, I think. And so, as you know, I've got the 3070 Ti Super, but it doesn't. I don't know because if it doesn't matter if it doesn't have DLSS or whatever. But it has like that Rebellion, launcher thingamajigger. Like you can just kind of preset your, different configurations or, for your display. But I'm like, all right, well then I did high on everything, and it like if I turn too fast, it would kind of like, it would be a little janky, right? And then all the like bullet kills or whatever were like super slow and they didn't look right at all. I was like, what the fuck? So
Really?
I had to put everything down to medium. It runs fine now on medium. The only thing I have that's high or ultra is the textures. And
That's so because for me, I'm running everything on ultra, and I haven't turned up everything. Like,
that's the Game Pass version for you.
Well, I'm playing on the Game Pass version as well. That's the thing. So like, that seems really weird to me that yours.
So I don't know. Maybe it's my machine or whatever. Sometimes I'll start the game up and it runs fine for about an hour and a half, and then again, that's if it's higher or ultra, and then it starts to get really buggy. Like, for example, if I'm going to put down like, how you can walk. So I'm playing with a controller, but I have played with mouse and keyboard. Like if you walk up to an AA gun and you need to put like the explosives on it, like it'll be grayed out, and I'm like, no, what the hell? Like I know I have the explosives. I picked up 3 of them.
Yeah.
And then I'll have to like, all right, fine. Let me just cut out of the game and then come back into it. And then boom. Oh yeah, you can set the explosive. Like we finally recognize it. Or
that's so weird.
In that first map or whatever, or
yeah.
When you first, no, actually, it's actually map number 3, which is kind of it's a reuse where it's got like the dam, and then it's got that tank that's on that rail section, but it's like, I don't know, the tank was buggy and it was kind of like cocked to one side, but it was still like unleashing some serious damage on me. The guy who was in the gutter seat was invisible. I hit it a couple times with like the Panzer check thing or whatever. And then it went to like blow up. But again, those are like the cons of the games. I really like the map designs compared to Sniper Elite 5. So, but just the way it runs on my machine is buggy.
That's so weird. I wonder if, I don't know what's going on with your machine. We have to go to the settings when we're off the air and see what's going on. But yeah, for me, it runs really good. I've been getting like pretty high frame rates on Ultra. Everything's running pretty smooth, no issues. Yeah, been having a blast with that game, dude. Like I said, I'm trying to You have to get a lot of kills to unlock everything as the bad guy, because you can unlock like different outfits and different like it's mostly cosmetics like outfits and stuff, and some guns maybe. You can unlock as the bad guy, and I want to unlock all of them, and then I'm gonna play the single player when it kind of dies out, because I hate when people invade my. I know you can disable it.
Yeah. You can do an invite only, or disable it, or just keep it on all the time.
Or maybe I should just play co-op with you and just try to run through the campaign co-op.
Yeah, I did it with Andrew today. Andrew Zek.
Yeah.
We did co-op today on it. It was a lot of fun. With Axis Invasion. That was cool. We got invaded twice during the map, like within like 8-minute difference. Like, okay, we got another guy coming in. Let's get ready. And then we just it was chaotic.
But yeah, man. But that's pretty much all I played this week was that game and those games. I look forward to playing. Oh no, actually, I lied. I went back and played a different game, Gunny. I played Battlefield 1.
I noticed all the Battlefields are on sale for anybody out there listening. Like they're all super cheap.
Oh yeah, they are for sure. I think there's like a dice sale going on or something, or there was.
It must be because I think Battlefield 1 was like $3.
But Battlefield 1
is less than $10, I think.
I went back to Battlefield 1 since I already owned it. And so I wanted to play Battlefield, but I was like, which Battlefield do I want and which one do I have installed? And apparently I have Battlefield 1 installed. So I went to it and I launched it, played it. And man, Battlefield 1 holds up, dude. It really fucking holds up really, really well. And I found plenty of servers to play on. It's just so much fun. Like that game is crazy. Like the destruction, what I love is the operations modes where like you're either defending objectives or you're pushing towards the objectives and you're pushing the people back or whatever.
Those are always my favorite.
Then they'll respawn and they'll have a fucking Zeppelin or a fucking like a big ass fucking armored train or a big ass tank or something, you know.
I was thinking of the train, man. That is like insane.
Like the first match that I played was that the one in Russia where you were playing as the Russians attacking something. I think you were attacking the Ottoman Empire, and there was like we were at the last objectives and we died, and it's like, oh, get back out there, man, we're gonna do it again. And it's like, this time you have an armored train. It's like, that's fucking crazy. Like they legit spawn us again with like 150 more tickets.
Yeah.
And now we also get a fucking big ass armored train. Oh fuck! And I was in the AA gun of the train. And I just fucking wrecked their bomber because their bomber was coming in to like drop bombs on us, and I fucking shot the shit out of it. And like that game has really cool like physics when you shoot at a plane or like at a house. Like the destruction is really cool. Like you could blow the wing off the plane, you could blow the tail off the plane. You see like people flying out of the plane. It's fucking awesome, dude. That game was so much fun playing that Battlefield 1 the other day. I was like, this is so much fun.
I think Battlefield 1 is like the time like where I can just the way the terrain and maps are set up where I can actually stay alive a little longer and probably get a few kills before I die.
It's really
compared
good,
to the other one's
dude.
a lot faster, I think.
No, of course, Battlefield 4 is one of my favorites. So is Battlefield 3, but Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 5 really are like, even though I remember Battlefield 1, people were kind of iffy on it because it was going back to World War One, and people were like, how the fuck are we going to do World War One? Like fighting in trenches and shit. But no, they did a really good job with it. Like, yeah.
Battlefield 5 is $2.49. Which one should I buy, Jesus? 1 or 5? Or excuse me. 1 or 4. I think I like 1 better. Because I already have all these games on the Xbox, right? So this would be like a new thing for me.
So Battlefield 1 has 10,000 players playing it. Battlefield 5 has 11,000 players playing it. I guess it's up to you, Gunny.
Yeah.
But I will say this, the Battlefield 1 24-hour peak was 50,000 players. Battlefield 5 was 114,000 players, so maybe Battlefield 5. Battlefield 5 was also fun. I actually had fun with that one too. But yeah, they have about the same amount of players playing each one. So
yeah,
it's up to you. It's up to you, really. I have both of them. I think I have both of them.
Yeah, we played all these co-op on the Xbox, or I can't remember. I think 5 we played on PC together.
Yeah, I have them all. So Play them, buy them, get them. They're fun. Quite fucking fun. But yeah, I mean that's all I've been playing, dude. Really, it's just that.
I tried to get into the Battlefield 6 playtest. I don't know if you tried it or not, but it's like it takes you to like this queue or something. I don't know. And then I was like, wait, what? You're like player 24,069 in the queue. Wait time's about an hour, and that thing barely ticked up. And I was
all right, Gunny, listen, Gunny. I joined the queue on my phone at around 11 a.m., 10 a.m. maybe, and I was numbered like 100,000 or something like that.
Yeah. I didn't do it.
Right,
till
listen,
like 3 o'clock.
I have it still up, Gunny. Look at this thing. I have it. Still
it's still up there. So let me ask you. Oh, you're close. You're really close.
And I'm number 9,152 at 8:30 p.m. at night. It's been fucking like 9 hours. This thing has been on the queue for 9 hours.
So it says, okay, it probably says the same thing where it says, hey, you can close this and it won't affect your wait time. So will it just kind of like, how does it notify you? Through the email or through the EA app?
I don't know. I have no clue.
Because I just closed the window before we started recording. I was like, okay, I
also queued it up on my PC, and on my PC about 2 hours ago, I was 250,000. Now I'm 206,000 on the PC. On my phone, now I'm down to 9,000. And it says, your wait time is approximately 28 minutes.
Okay, yeah, I'm thinking like midnight, you should be able to get in. Should be able to get in.
But I don't think this is even a guarantee you're going to get in. This is just like to get invited.
That's what I was thinking. Like, is it just to get the invite, or will I don't think
this is going to guarantee you're going to get in. This is like you're signing up to be invited to the game. We'll see. I don't know. Regardless, if I don't get in, I don't really care. I'll wait for the actual beta to come out. Like I'm not worried about it. I'm gonna play Battlefield when it launches, right? So like it doesn't really matter to me,
right?
If I get in or not. Oh, it's 27 minutes now, Gunny. It's going down. Holy fuck! I'm gonna have to stop the show to sign up.
Yeah, I'll finish the show up here in about a half hour.
All right, Gunny. What have you been playing? I guess.
But just a little more on, because that's really what a lot of what I've played is Sniper Elite Resistance. So you're playing as
Welcome to the Resistance. Welcome to the Resistance.
Well, yeah, that's what he says, right? When like they're dicks, right, to him. Yeah. But whoever the Resistance is, but yeah, you're playing as Harry Hawker. What Harry is he like? Hawker. Isn't that like a porn name? I mean, what's up with that? Like,
my name is Harry Hawker. What kind of name is that?
Is he British or Irish? I don't know what he is, but
he's British, isn't he? Or Irish? He's probably
I don't know. Yeah, like he's like the voice is kind of low in the game, so it's like, wait, I think Either way, he's probably he's European, British. I don't know. But yeah, so far I'm really loving the map designs of this newest one. Where if I do comparisons to the last one, which was Sniper Elite 5, for some reason I just I didn't dislike the game. I pretty much finished every map in that, which was also on Game Pass, I believe. And yeah, I don't know. I felt like in Sniper Elite 5, like I felt like I was getting bored or something. Like, I don't know, like it was taking me too long to spot enemies, find enemies, kill enemies. Like, not in this one. I feel like this one's like where I think I was playing on easy for the most part. Most of the time I was playing on easy till like act number 5 or so. And then I was like, fuck it, let me just kick it up a little notch, right to medium. And I think that was a lot more of a challenge, actually. So where enemies, like the way they show up at like your mini map or whatever, where it's like the white glow or they'll have that question mark over their head most of the time when you're playing on easy. But yeah, so far I just love the way the fucking maps are and how you get through it. So but yeah, playing with Andrew today, that was fun getting in there. I've done that before with previous titles as well. So yeah, like doing the co-op, and that's the cool thing about the last several of these is where you can do co-op, you can do 2v2, I think it is. It might be actually more than that. So those are cool too. So where it's just like a versus match. But it's also got like a new thing. I think it's new. It's called Survival. That might have been in Sniper Elite 5, but yeah, I think that's just like waves of enemies coming at you. Yeah, I'll check that out more this week or whatever.
I noticed there's an actual multiplayer mode in this game. What is that about? Like, you're actually like...
I think that's the 2v2 or the 3v3 or whatever.
So you're like sniping other like in a match, like sniping other snipers?
Yeah. So it's just 2v2, right? So yeah, like there's no other players on the map except 4 real players.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know if it cuts off like a section of the map. I think that's what it does.
Yeah.
Like it'll take like one of the actual real maps and then cut it off a little bit. So maybe lock off some doors or something. So you do get a pretty big playground area or sandboxy area where you can actually play. And yeah, it's cool. I like it. Me and Andrew played it on, not yet on this one, but we played it for Sniper Elite 5. So, but yeah, it's fun. Always recommend that after you finish the campaign or during it. So, and yeah, Invasion. So I don't know if this was in the last one, Jesus, but so when you're doing like an Axis invasion, if you notice those telephones, you know what those are for, right?
Yeah, to call the people, like to find where the sniper is, right?
Yeah, so that it'll immediately, I think for like 40 seconds, it'll show their location. Like it just kind of gives you that general idea of where they're at. So,
well, it actually marks them, but if you move as the sniper, because it tells you as the sniper, like, hey, you've been marked, your position's been marked.
Yeah,
you have enough, like, gives you enough time to run away, kind of.
Yeah, and then I think after like, let's just say if you don't use a phone or whatever, I think both your locations are revealed or something like that.
Yeah.
Like after a certain amount of time,
it'll say both of your locations. It'll say like the enemy's location is here, and it'll say your location has also been revealed.
Yeah.
So there's that, yeah. But there's also like if you're playing as the sniper guy, Jaeger or whatever, or even I think if you're playing as the main guy, if you stay like say you hide in a house and you know what, you just hide in there the whole time. The game will actually tell you, hey, it'll say camping detected.
Camping, yeah.
It'll say you need to move or else we're going to mark you on the map. Like, get the fuck out of here or we're going to mark you. So you kind of have to move a little bit or else the game kind of tells you, like, this guy's right here. He's camping right here. Like, this is where he's at.
Right.
Which I did that once on that map with the, there's like that, it was like, it's the river. There's like a bridge that goes across the river. And then there's like that big Nazi building in the middle with like 4.
Yeah,
like
with the
maybe, I don't know if it has a church, but it's like 3 or 4 stories, and like it's like a big Nazi building that has a lot of guards outside. So what I did is I spotted somebody's game, and they hadn't cleared that area yet. So I fucking went into that building and I just hit on the 4th floor. I went up there and I hit on the 4th floor. And they were like having the hardest time trying to get into that fucking building. Because before I did that, I went outside and put everybody on high alert. Because I asked the guy, you can like tag everyone to tell them to like keep an eye out or something. So I put everything on high alert, like all around the fucking building and inside of it. Then I went and hit on the 4th floor and I put a mine on the fucking door on the entrance.
Yeah, that got me today with that.
That guy was having the hardest time trying to kill me because I was on top of the 4th floor just hiding, and he was like fucking he was outside the building trying to snipe me, and he just couldn't get me through the windows. And but I've had people like shoot me through windows and shit too, man.
Oh like, man, you know what got me? You know what got me today was it might have been that same building that you talked about, but it's got like this little walkway, and like there's a couple little tower things that kind of look like a castle, right? I mean, I guess technically it is more of a fortress than anything. Like where I came up because I knew his location. Me and Andrew came up there, and Andrew did not come upstairs. Like I guess he was smarter than I was, and of course, like the enemies are you're invisible to them, right? To the actual AI people or fucking soldiers. So I hid behind this wooden thing. And you know how like technically I didn't know it, but I guess your head kind of sticks over a little bit, even though the enemy cannot see you. But apparently the real life player can, because I was like, I wonder if he's at the end up there. He's got to be up there because he's not anywhere else. And I saw the flash too. Like he literally popped out. Yeah. And like I saw the flash of his fucking like his scope. And I was like, oh, boom, I'm dead. I was like, fuck. I go, Andrew, he's upstairs. So Andrew just kind of waited downstairs, like, I'm not going up there. He just waited till time ran out. So, when the time runs out, if you're playing co-op, like you basically just kind of reappear next to the other player. So that's pretty much what happens. You can't be revived or anything like that. So you can avenge your co-op partner, but yeah, you just kind of, and then the game just continues or whatever. So that was cool. And then trying to think if it's the same stinking map. It is the same map where it's got that church like literally across that bridge you talked about. And the Axis guy, like he fucking the Jaeger, whatever, like he was at the top. And I was like, so you've got like a great advantage point up there. Like literally got me twice, not the same guy, but like he was perched up there. And as soon as I, like crossed the bridge, came over, and then boom, he saw me because I went and hid behind like this little wall or whatever. Like he still had like, yeah, he can clearly see me and just like, boop, you're dead. Like, fuck. So then like today playing with Andrew, like I was like, you know what? I bet you he's in the church, Andrew. That's where everybody goes. Everybody goes to the church, right? And then we go in there and we come up through the tunnel thinking, ha ha ha, like here we come through the tunnel, like not going to see us coming, right? And I'm just sneaking up there. And I hit a fucking landmine. I was like, fuck, he fucking put a landmine on the stairs. And I was like, but it left me with like one portion of health. So I was able to use a med pack. And then I still creeped up there. So the sniper's still up there, by the way, right? So then I just capped him, and then I'm like, okay, but there is like a way you can go to the left, and I did not look to my fucking left, right? Mm-hmm. After I killed the sniper, I was like, all right, let me pop my head up and kind of see, like, did he run downstairs or whatever? I didn't even know he was up there. I just assumed, and then boom, he was on my left. He came running and just fucking gunned me down. I was like, Andrew, he's up here. I knew it. He's up here. But Andrew went running after him that time. And then like, yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't think he ever found him or whatever. So yeah, that was fun. It was fun. It just makes like a co-op campaign or a single player like that much more difficult or intense, Yeah. Especially if you've got to run. Like today we were running like, oh shit. Like it all starts off great, right? Where we're just like, go up, stealth kill, yeah. And then it just all goes to hell. Like we were just like running out of ammo, like with our assault rifles, just like shooting everything in sight, throwing grenades. One of the cool things I think is new for this one, there's probably a lot of new stuff I don't remember from Sniper Elite 5. And one of them is, let's say like somebody gets injured, right? You don't actually kill them. Like they'll be holding like their left or right arm around their chest, and they're kind of like hobbling along or whatever. And I assume they've got to have some kind of pistol in their hand, right? But one guy, like I was trying to patch up. I got far enough away. I bugged out. I told Andrew, I'm like, you're on your own up there on the roof. Like I had to run, man. And like, I'm just like looting dead bodies for like assault rifle ammo. And, cause I knew like it was going to be some close quarters fights. And this guy came up, like this soldier came hobbling up, and I'm like, oh man, he's got the fucking take on me. Oh shit, he's injured. He's like either trying to get away but yeah, I just put some lead in him, and yeah, like looted that body. Like that was fun. Yeah, that was cool. So, and I lived until the invader got me. But yeah, because I had to go to that position. Jesus, I had to go see if I can get him. So, but I failed each time. But I did get one today. Like I invaded a game. So yeah. I did get one kill out of like 7. I think it's just a matter of learning the maps, right? If you play the game enough, right? Where the best spots are. And yeah. So it's fun. So another thing they might have added is they did have workbenches where you can essentially upgrade your weapons mid game. I'm trying to think of Sniper Elite 5. It might have been like at the end of the matches or the beginning of the matches. Or you could also just do it like in the menu, before the start of each match. But I think now it's like, find the workbench or whatever, because they're not. I mean, I wouldn't say they're hiding, but they're not marked on the map, and they're not at the beginning of the maps or whatever. So yeah, there's that, and some might have one workbench or some have 2. And I'm trying to think of like, I don't know if it's just XP points or whatever that you earn or whatever to upgrade those weapons, or you can unlock other better sniper rifles or pistols or whatever it might be. So there's that too. Just kind of go down the list and That's what I've been doing, like a better grip or something. Yeah. So there's that. Yeah. Anything else in here? So yeah. Besides that, it's just been on the Steam Deck. I'm still hooked on Vampire Survivors, man. Antonio, my guy, you know. Yeah. I'm just collecting coins. Fucking got everything unlocked. The only thing I haven't done, I don't know if you've done this, Jesus, because I know you had a run with this game. Do you ever put any money into cursed, right, which would increase the enemy's damage towards you? Like I didn't put any of that. Like I was like, I don't know, I don't want to do that. So everything else kind of maxed out on one character.
Maybe I have. I don't know. Maybe once I maxed everything out, maybe. But
I thought about it. I thought, oh,
not at first.
Yeah, I wonder. Like, I don't want to debuff myself. You know,
yeah,
because that's essentially what you're kind of doing, right? Like, I guess you're making it more difficult. So, kind of the last thing I need to do with that character, besides play the last 2 maps or unlock them, I should say. So, but yeah, it's cool. Like, loving that game. Dungeon Crawler, a little bit more of that. So that's a game that Crafty from Video Game Happy Hour podcast recommended, and it's fun. It's a cool game. It's kind of like my new Slay the Spire game. You can just get in there, play a few games. It's a roguelike deck builder without cards, so you're just using a claw machine. Cool on the go game. I believe it's on mobile as well. So I haven't downloaded it for the Play Store. So. But that's really all I've been playing. Just those 2. I'll probably finish up Sniper Elite by a couple days from now.
I haven't even finished the campaign. Like I haven't even finished the first mission. Like I said, I died in that first mission because someone invaded me, and I just became the villain after that. I was like, I'm gonna.
You know what I would say, Jesus? I would just say put it on invite only or turn it off. Finish the campaign, and then maybe go through it again on hard or medium hard or whatever, and then. Yeah, then enable it. Then you're more familiar with the map because, especially if you get to like the second map or whatever, third map, whatever, the one with the field, it's got like the tunnel system or whatever. I still need to learn the tunnel system, so just familiarize myself with it. So yeah. So once you're more familiar with it, especially as an invader, I would say, like you can really probably use that to your advantage. But vice versa, right? So I think it's a badass map. So
all right. Well, I guess it's news time.
Beep, 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 beep.
Big news this week, ladies and gentlemen. Big news today, actually. Battlefield 6 has finally been properly announced and everything. Yeah, it's coming. I think it's just called Battlefield this time around.
Not Battlefield 6 or whatever, or we don't know, or is it?
We don't know yet. They're just so far where everything they've been saying is Battlefield. They haven't said Battlefield whatever, Battlefield Future Warfare, nothing. They just said it's called Battlefield so far.
Okay.
And they keep saying the next Battlefield. So I don't know what they mean by that. I don't know if they mean they haven't come up with a name yet, or they're going to just call it Battle. I think they're just going to call it Battlefield, I think. In my head.
It's been so long now, I think they can just use the OG name.
Yeah, I think it just makes sense, right? Just call it Battlefield. Just say it's Battlefield.
Kind of like, yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, it's been 4 years since Battlefield 2042, and EA has finally showcased a sliver of gameplay from their next Battlefield title. Not officially Battlefield 6 yet, but the game is now in the pre-alpha stage and is welcoming public playtesters in the coming months. That public playtesting loop will take place under Battlefield Labs, a new program that aims to bring players into the development process much earlier than previous Battlefield titles. It sounds a lot like an early access program, but it remains quite closed off for now. You have to sign up to be in for a chance to play early. They said, quote, Battlefield Labs is a place for us to test concepts and experiences we're excited about with you, our players. We want our community to play a key role in the future of Battlefield, and this is an opportunity for many of you to just do that. Even in pre-alpha, we are proud of where the game is at, and we tirelessly playtest, but your feedback will supercharge our development as we strive to hit that perfect note between form, function, and feel. This is an unprecedented moment for Battlefield. Good news is you can get in and do your thing to get in early, and then if you do get in, Gunny, you can do your playtesting early on an Xbox or a PlayStation, not just PC.
Oh, they always start with consoles first, yep.
Well, that's kind of cool. You could do your playtesting on the Xbox and the PS5 and the PC. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
There's no timing details on any details of this testing yet, but EA previously said that Battlefield 6 community testing will start in early 2025, and Battlefield Labs is set to expand over time to tens of thousands of players, with testers getting to try out Conquest and Breakthrough, the heart and soul of our all-out warfare experience. That's what Battlefield said. But the little gameplay they showed of Battlefield 6 at the end of that trailer that they released this morning, or like that, like it was like a 5-minute long like video, right? It was talking about all the studios. They're called the Battlefield Studios or something like that now, which is 4 different studios. So it's DICE, which is in Stockholm, Sweden. There's Ripple Effect, which is in LA, and there's 2 other ones. I forget the other ones' names. But they're all. I think Motive is one of them. Motive and Criterion is the other one.
Criterion, yeah, because I think they do like the Need for Speed stuff, but they also do support stuff for Battlefield.
They said DICE is working on the multiplayer, of course. They're the ones that have always done the multiplayer. Why not give it to them? Criterion is working on the single-player campaign. Ripple Effect and Motive are both support studios, but they're working on the new player base. I think Ripple Effect is working on getting the new player base, and Motive is more like a support studio for all of them. So like they're kind of helping everyone around, like moving around, helping everyone where they need help at. So there's 4 different studios. The head of this Battlefield Studios is, of course, Vince Zampella. He is running the Battlefield Studios team. So 4 studios working on the next Battlefield. And that's kind of cool. So we'll see where it goes, man. I'm hyped. That trailer they showed at the very end, it looked a lot like Battlefield 4, but with like modern graphics, like really amped up, modern looking game.
Yeah.
Looked like modern warfare, but like modern Battlefield. Like you got like destruction, tanks, people shooting at each other, people running, people shooting RPGs at like a building, and the whole building collapses. It looks fucking cool. I'm hyped.
Yeah, I hope they reach that same magic they did with Battlefield 4.
I think they
or
will.
surpass it. Even surpass it, yeah.
I think they can. I think they will. I think if it's a modern game, which it seems to be, set like in some modern Battlefield, I think it's gonna be cool as fuck.
Yeah.
None of this fucking specialist bullshit they had in 2042. All right? We just want some fucking engineer class, the support class, medic, and assault.
Give me the light machine gun and spray.
At BioWare, a BioWare developer has now confirmed that the next Mass Effect is still happening, despite recent layoffs at the studio. The long-awaited 5th entry into the sci-fi RPG series has faced a challenging road after BioWare initially revealed in 2020. Consequently, since then, news of layoffs and staff shuffling at EA have worried many Mass Effect fans, although it now seems that the game is still on track despite the disruptions. While some gamers may have hoped for a speedier development timeline after BioWare finished up work on Dragon Age: The Veilguard, that has not been the case. A former studio executive explained how the next Mass Effect isn't ready for a larger team yet, as it's still in its early stages. Not long after, it became clear that even after 4 more Dragon Age devs would be able to work on this title. As EA has moved and laid off some more BioWare employees. In late January of 2025, EA transferred some BioWare employees to other studios, with many speculating the move came as a result of a disappointing performance from Dragon Age: The Veilguard. It then became clear that layoffs were part of the restructuring too, with several former BioWare developers posting on social media that they were looking for new jobs after having to leave the studio. As hectic as it may seem, though, BioWare executive producer Michael Gamble has assured fans on Twitter that his team is still working on the game. So these recent layoffs do not spell the end for Mass Effect 5.
I would hope not.
I would hope not, yeah. That's like their biggest franchise, I think, at BioWare. Why would you get rid of it? It's like your biggest game. I think, though, if Mass Effect 5 doesn't do well, I think that's the end of BioWare.
Jeez. You know, I don't know. I was scrolling through the Twitter X thing, and somebody, I don't know, they had said about that leaves less than 100 employees or something at BioWare. I don't know if they meant devs or whatever, because I'm like, there's got to be more than 100 people at BioWare.
Oh, yeah.
I would think.
Sure. You would think so, right?
So it might have been just a propaganda thing or whatever. But
Another news. A co-founder of the Call of Duty studio Treyarch recently pleaded guilty to striking a firefighting plane with the drone during the recent LA fires. Under this plea deal, Peter T. Aikman will avoid the potential penalty of a year in prison and will instead perform 150 hours of community service, particularly in the area of Southern California's wildfire relief efforts. The deal also includes a $65,000 fine, the cost of repairing the firefighting plane in question. According to this plea agreement, Aikman flew a drone over the area of the Palisades fire while a super scooper water dumping plane was flying by and conducting operations in the area. His drone struck the plane's wing, causing enough damage that the plane had to actually be grounded for a period of time. U.S. Attorney Joseph McNally, one of the prosecutors of the case, released a statement noting that flying drones during times of emergency poses an extreme threat to personnel trying to help people and compromises the overall ability of police and fire to conduct operations. He reiterated that those who do fly drones in those conditions will be arrested and prosecuted just like Aikman. Aikman's camps released a statement stating that the co-founder is deeply sorry and accepts responsibility for his grave error in the judgment. After co-founding Treyarch, Aikman parted ways with his company for more than 20 years ago. Wow.
I didn't even know. I didn't even know that that person was even caught, or if that was even. I didn't even know it was a co-founder of Treyarch. So, yeah, I thought maybe they never caught the person, but that's interesting. Yeah, that.
The Verge reports that he recently departed his role as the president of Skydance Interactive and that his social media accounts have been scrubbed, including X and LinkedIn. Several major video game publishers have marshaled resources to help fighting the LA fires, including Riot Games, which implemented an in-game fundraisers in League of Legends and Valorant. Sony also donated $5 million to the LA fire relief efforts. That's right, big PlayStation helping the fire people.
Hell yeah.
I don't see Xbox doing anything. What is Xbox doing for the
Phil,
fire?
get over there. Get over there, have some kind of concert or something. I don't know why Phil would be having a concert. Yeah.
Phil's going to have a concert with his cool jacket in LA.
Him and Sarah. Matt Booty on stage. But no, I remember that. I think it was like the second day of that fire or it could have been, that was the Super Scooper. Could have been day number 3. But yeah, I remember it was like that red fucking plane. I remember it had the big, that thing struck it. Like, I was like, what the hell? What are people doing down there?
That's crazy.
Fucking drones and shit, yeah.
Hold on, Gunny, hold on. Oh, shit.
That was nuts.
Speaking of, that's crazy. Striking fucking, I mean, who would fucking fly a helicopter into an airplane, right? That happened last week.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, that Black Hawk.
That's fucking nuts. That's crazy shit. And then that other plane that crashed like the next fucking day. It's like, goddamn.
Oh, that medical plane in Philadelphia. Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, that's nuts. Yeah. Sorry. Sad for those people. That's fucking crazy. In other news, Assassin's Creed Shadow, which is set to release next month on March 20th, has leaked online. That's right. The art book has leaked online. It says here.
I get it.
As you might expect, Gunny, the book contains all kinds of spoilers covering characters, locations, and key story elements. With that in mind, it's likely only a matter of time until various details are shared across social media. But why has the book been shared on a hentai website of all places? Pretty much because porn sites and adult sites don't give a fuck, really. They just let you upload anything. So, like...
I was thinking you were going to say like some Discord server or something, but a hentai website.
They don't care. Like you just upload whatever, dude. It's a porn site,
There's probably no algorithm. I didn't think about it. Yeah.
Yeah, no algorithm is going to catch.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed shit. Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
That's crazy.
I don't know. In other news, let's see. Other news. Hold on. Former PlayStation boss Sean Layden says Sony can't get away with making PS6 diskless. That's right. Former Sony Interactive Entertainment Worldwide Studio CEO Sean Layden has said that Sony cannot get away with launching the PS6 console as an all-digital disc-less console. Layden told somebody, I don't know who the fuck that is, that while the Xbox has found success in that regard, PlayStation has such a large market share that it would be shutting out too many people by removing physical and offline games from their library. He says, I don't think Sony can get away with it now, Layden said. I think Xbox has had more success in pursuing this strategy, but Xbox is really most successful in their business in a clutch of countries. The US, Canada, the UK, Ireland, Australia, New Zealand, and South Africa. Coincidentally enough, all English-speaking countries. Sony, which is the number one platform in probably 170 countries around the world, has an obligation or a responsibility to say, if we go diskless, how much of my market is not able to make that jump? Can users in rural Italy get a decent enough connection to enjoy their games? Layden gave further examples of parts of the market that rely on physical or offline games, such as traveling athletes or military bases, but said that PlayStation is likely already investigating how many of those groups is willing to move away from. Which part of your market will be damaged by going to a diskless market, Layden said. I'm sure they're doing their research on it, and there will be a tipping point where there's some percentage where you can say, okay, that's fine, we could turn our back on that part of the market. But Sony's market is globally so huge, I think that it would be hard for them to go fully diskless even within the next generation. So there's that. And he has a point, right? They're like number one around the world, so why would they?
Right. Yeah. And I would say, like, just speaking of North America, right, it's probably where it's going to happen first. Where do you think if, like, it all depends on, like, mostly GameStop? If GameStop went out of business, like, completely, then we would just be left with, like, whatever, order by internet or go to Best Buys or
Amazon,
but not everybody has a.
I think we can do without
Target
GameStop.
or Walmart.
I think we could do without GameStop because we have Targets and WalMarts and shit like that. So I think GameStop really isn't that big of a factor if you think of like physical sales of things. Like other stores carry their merchandise. Now, if GameStop was the only store in the country that carried video games, then that'd be a different story. But they're not. Like I said, we've been fine without them. Like the gaming market will continue without them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think for the foreseeable future, I'd definitely say that.
Well, think of like bookstores, like whatever bookstores went out of business in the last few years, whatever. Like we've been fine without them. Why? Because either mom and pop stores or big retailers carry books.
Yeah,
like that just doesn't matter anymore. So I think like GameStop going out of business, it might hurt the gaming people a little bit, but not a whole lot. I think it's a bigger. People make it to be a bigger deal than it is, and I think that's because people don't realize that like fucking we don't need them. We have other stores we could buy video games from.
Yeah, and I think it's just going to be this slow thing where, like, speaking of GameStop, right, where I'll bet you they don't go completely like bump, right? They just say, you know what, we're just closing all our stores, but we're just going to be this online retailer, like, almost like an Amazon or whatever, where you could just, you have to order online or whatever. We can send it to your Amazon locker or what have you, but maybe after the next generation. But definitely, like, Xbox I think is going to be the first to do it. So whether they do it next generation, who knows? Just in North America, specifically US, Canada, or something. But yeah, no, they'll have discs next generation for sure.
I think so too.
Yeah.
In other news, gaming largest lobbying group says Trump's tariffs would negatively impact hundreds of millions of Americans and do serious damage to the video game industry. The U.S. government is set to launch massive, sweeping trade war against Canada, Mexico, and China. Although Mexico and Canada were both given a one-month reprieve earlier today due to the fact that they agreed to bolster border security. So did Canada. They also agreed to bolster their security, I guess. But
as of today, like this literally happened within the last couple days. Like,
which has the potential to throw international economies into chaos, destabilize world security, blah blah blah, and make video games more expensive. In response, the ESA, the trade group representing the video game publishers in the U.S., has issued a statement saying the move is likely to do serious harm to the game industry and gamers alike Video games are one of the most popular and beloved forms of entertainment for all American ages, the ESA said. The tariffs on video game devices and related products will negatively impact hundreds of millions of Americans and would harm the industry's significant contribution to the U.S. economy. We look forward to working with the administration and Congress to find ways to sustain the economic growth supported by our sector. Video games themselves are largely distributed digitally these days. Hold on, Cuddy. Hold on. I gotta hold.
I don't know what he's laughing at. Something in the background, but yeah, I don't think the article is that funny, but he's walked away at this point. Let me see if I can just kind of read on to that one. So, where were we? Yeah, so I think really like it's just talking about like, peripherals, consoles, PCs, right? Like all the parts and stuff that are, yeah, that's the thing coming in from China, right? Foxconn, all made in China, right? So, well, that's like the 10%. So they're still, as we stand right now, as we record this podcast, like, I don't know, I guess China has yet to respond to that 10% tariff or whatever. So, but yeah, so I don't know. Let me see here. I think he kind of left off here. It says, even a lower rate hike, like the 25% planned tariffs on projects originating from Canada and Mexico, would result in a serious bump. Trump said, when he announced the proposed tariffs on incoming chips and manufacturers like NVIDIA and AMD are not going to want to pay 25, 50, or even 100% tax on imported goods. But the reality is they won't. They'll just attach the increased cost to the product price and let consumers eat it, right? Yeah, that's the part where we get hit, right? So a lot of money on the table. ESA said in January that total video game sales hit $58.7 billion in 2024. Most of that was video game content, but hardware and console sales accounted for $4.9 billion, down from the $6.5 billion in 2023. While access sales grew from $3 billion to $3.2 billion, what happens in the current environment is anybody's guess. Even if the tariffs are eventually walked back, the uncertainty left in their wake will almost certainly having a chilling effect on the industry. So my initial 25 outlook for the U.S. video game industry, consumer spending without tariff or trade wars was $61 billion, 61.5 billion actually. So that's a 4.8% increase compared to 2024. So yeah, that's let's see here. Oh, just one more thing here. Unfortunately, the ESA said nothing about how exactly it proposes to address the problem, perhaps because there's no addressing it, along with launching military action against Mexico. I don't know. All right, just more political stuff in there. But yeah, I'm curious, like when I think about it, like, was there already like a tariff on things? Like, was it 8%? Was it 6%? So I have no idea. Like, or was it 0? Was it just 0 for everybody? Which I personally think it should be 0. Like, I think, yeah, because that to me, that's like a double tax, right? The government takes their cut, right? A tariff is a tax. Like they take their cut, whatever they use it for, right? So then probably military and everything else. And then we get taxed, right? Like it. So really it's a tax that the shipper or the receiver, actually the shipping company, that has to pay it once it lands here in the US. So it's like, great, like, yeah. Anyway, but yeah, that's not good. I don't know. This thing is like ever evolving, right? Like it's just like every time I turn around, like, oh, it's a 30-day reprieve. You're like, oh, okay, good. Like, yeah, because this affects my business too at work. Like, yeah, like it kind of sucks. So I'm a little worried, but not much. But we'll find out. So I don't know, Jesus. What do you think, Jesus? What do you think? How is this stuff going to play out? Do you think if they'll just come to a middle ground and say, all right, fine, 10% for everybody or something? I don't know. So hopefully, I'd love to see 0, but I think it should be 0. My opinion,
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know about this fucking tariff things. I don't know what's gonna happen with that.
Nobody knows.
Who knows? So far, they're on pause though for Canada and Mexico, at least for a month, due to Mexico agreeing to deploy. I think they said they're going to deploy 10,000 National Guard troops to their borders to secure their borders.
On their side, right? Is that?
Yeah, on their side to prevent drug cartels and people from fucking whatever. And then Canada too. I don't know. They're also securing their borders and shit apparently. But yeah, in Mexico, I know for a fact that Xboxes get made there. Some of them at least get made
Yeah,
there.
I think that's where they make the discs as well. But then keep in mind, like this is something else I learned about. I mean, it's the number one place for a lot of what do you call it? PPE, medical equipment, right? Syringes. I mean, you name it. It's made in Mexico. I mean, it's shipped from Mexico to the US. But yeah, healthcare is going up great. But yeah, what isn't? But yeah, as far as I think trying to think the last time we were talking about discs being made, right, for consoles. Not only that, but DVDs and all that stuff. Like a lot of times, like they outgrow even in Mexico where they say, hey, look, like, man, there's too much work for us. Like even Mexico has to outsource it to Asia, not just China, but like whatever it is, Bangladesh, all the different countries connected to China, Vietnam, I don't know, different locations over there and then it needs to be then shipped back to Mexico, then shipped to the US. But yeah, like, I mean, it's a lot of money flying around. Like that just gives me a fucking headache. I swear when it talk about this tariff tax things on stuff before I even have to pay the tax, it's like, come on.
Yeah.
Think of the taxpayer, Jeez.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I guess we'll find out. Hopefully come to an agreement quickly.
Yeah.
Something.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm thinking about just a little side note here, Jesus. Like I was talking to Crafty today about like I want to get this OLED monitor. And it's like it's an expensive monitor. Like it's not like I'm going to buy it, but I'm certainly looking into it. And I think it's like an Acer QLED old OLED dot, whatever the micro dot. I don't fucking know, but it's like, damn, do I get that thing sooner than later? Because of tariffs, like might be $400 more, in 3 months from now. So I don't know. Might get it sooner than later. That might be the best strategy for me.
Why are you not looking at the Alienware? Like the one I
did not watch anything on YouTube or look at any specs for Alienware. So is that something? What do you have?
I have that one. I have the Alienware.
Send me a link for it after the show, and then yeah, I'll look at that one as well. So I mean, I'm still rocking this 1440p 165 hertz. It's still a good monitor, but I would like to have an OLED for.
So actually, the one that I see on Best Buy is how much was the one that you were looking at?
So that one was like it was about $1,099.
I'm looking at one right now that's a QD OLED.
So the it's a
curved 165 hertz for $700 right now at Best Buy.
Yeah, and there was like, and that's the thing. I've never experienced like a curved, and it's like I guess maybe I could try a curved monitor, and if I really don't like it, I guess I could return it for a flat panel. So it's kind of like one of those things where I'm like, do I do it?
What size is mine? I don't even know I think this is a 34-inch.
Yeah, the one I'm looking at is like I think it's a 32-inch because I think the one I currently have is 27. So I don't want to go too large, but
so I have Dell.
I think 32 would be good. And I think there is a 27 out there, which is a 4K OLED as well. So we're for a lot cheaper. Like $300 cheaper. So
the one I have is the older model of the one they have right now, and it's out of stock. Of course, it's out of stock because it's the older model. But so it's the older model of the one that is currently on sale at Best Buy. And this one was for me. It cost me $1,100, but right now on Best Buy, the same one I have is actually that one on. I'm looking at the Dell website. You can actually get it cheaper through Dell themselves. Dell themselves sell it for $650.
What's the refresh rate on it?
165.
Okay.
And it has FreeSync. Mine came with G-Sync and FreeSync. The one that this is crazy. Me, Iams, and Brink have the same monitor. Me and Iams bought ours. I think we got ours for $1,100 or $1,000, and ours came with G-Sync and FreeSync. And Brink bought his. I think he bought his for like maybe $800 or $900 or something like that. But his came with only FreeSync. It didn't have G-Sync.
Yeah, interesting. And then So researching this a little bit on the YouTubes and Reddits or whatever. So whether it be like the one that you bought or other ones, a lot of them I notice are like, so especially the Acer Predator ones or the Acer Swift. So it'll say like FreeSync, G-Sync compatible. And I went, what does that mean, G-Sync compatible? So I was watching a video yesterday. It was talking about, this was just like a person who reviewed the monitor just talking about, well, it's compatible with it, but you might get a lot of flicker if you do enable it, but not on every game, just certain games. So you can always disable it. So it's not like a true G-Sync, right? It's like something to do with the, he might have been referring to, I think the other thing, I don't know if you've tried this, Jesus, but he was talking about using VRR on the PlayStation 5 where it'll not show up or something, or it'll say, hey, that's not compatible. Like you can't use VRR. Yeah, I don't know.
I know. So I'm looking right now on Dell's website. So the 34-inch is the non-FreeSync one, or the non-G-Sync, and that one has AMD FreeSync. And that one's $649.99, which is not bad. But the one with G-Sync is a 32-inch one. It's the same thing. It's just 32 inches, so a little bit smaller. And it has a 240 hertz display resolution, or like a refresh rate. So instead of 165, it's 240. But this one has G-Sync, and it's a compatible like G-Sync certification. It has no FreeSync, and this one has a couple more like USB ports in the front of it or whatever.
So like probably like a Gen.
And this one, but this one is $1,200. See, like that was that's what
I'm looking at. That's like a similar, different model, but
that's the one, like the one I bought, but mine is a 34-inch. So me and Iams, when we bought ours, it was a 34-inch, but it was a $1,200 one. And Brink bought his 34-inch, but his was the FreeSync one. But like, it's a big price difference, man. You know what I mean? If you're looking at the 2 inches and the price of the fucking G-Sync, $649 to $1,200. That's like almost, you're literally like doubling the price of your monitor just to add G-Sync and for it to be smaller and to add a couple USB ports to the front of it. Like, is G-Sync really that worth it?
Yeah. And then
for another $600.
Right. So then there was like, so what's weird is this Asus monitor, this ROG Swift. So it looks like they made two different monitors around the same time. So it's a 240 hertz. It's a QD OLED. I think that's the one that Crafty has. And then the one that I looked at was, what the hell was it now? Like a different kind of OLED or whatever. Same price. But yeah, there's like a video he sent me to show me like the difference on it. And it wasn't like the glossy versus matte or anything. It had to do with like how it displays colors on the screen. So I was like, interesting. So yeah, like same price, just a different format of OLED. So
yeah,
like, okay, that's kind of interesting how they did two different kind of screens or whatever. But they both look the same if you're looking from your home monitor. But yeah, kind of weird. So I don't know. I was like, okay. So he goes, but yeah, the QD OLED or whatever, like that's the good one, you know, that's the better one to get versus
looking at the Asus.
This is the, I'm just trying to find if there's like a model number on it. Yeah, it's the ROG Swift 32 QD OLED.
The one at Best Buy.
Yes. Yeah. So that one's $11.99.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was just thinking like, get the best one. I'm good for 4 or 5 years. I don't know. Yeah.
Well, the crazy thing about this one is it has a 480 hertz display. Like.
Yeah. So
that's fucking nuts.
That's a lot, right? So then, no, this one has 240 hertz, right?
No, it has 240 hertz in 4K.
Right.
And if you're not playing in 4K, so you're playing in 1440p, it goes up to 480.
Yeah. So then, okay. I saw that and I was like thinking, you know what I'm going to do? Literally, I'm going to put it in 480 hertz, 1080p. I'm going to play Call of Duty. Then I'm going to talk about it on the show and I'll probably never turn back on that 480 again. Like that's really what it's for, right? It's for like Valorant or Call of Duty or Counter-Strike, you know, it's for competitive gaming. So Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I guess another cool thing that I think this one does could be a different monitor, could be an MSI, but it'll actually display like it'll display like a smaller screen, right? So it'll go down to like 27 on the screen, so it has like the outline black on it. So not a lot of monitors to that. So that's kind of cool that there's that option as well. So
I like it, but I don't like it, Gunny.
I think Sony monitors do it or something as
I
well.
think you would like the Alienware OLED better. I
Yeah.
honestly think you would because it's ultra wide. Yeah, it does have it's just an ultra wide monitor. In my opinion, they're just better. Both like don't even think of the curve. Like I know that you're thinking, oh, it's curved. It might be weird, but you don't even notice that it's curved when you're like sitting at the desk in front of it. Like I'm sitting in front of it right now. I have two monitors, right? I have the 32-inch my Dell that's on top, which is a Dell and whatever 32-inch monitor, and then I have the one on the bottom, which is the Alienware 34-inch, a little bit wider, and the bottom one is the ultra wide. The top one is like a regular like aspect ratio or whatever, 16:9 or whatever, and this bottom one is like the different one or whatever. 21:9, I think is what it's called.
Yeah, I think Ghost
And
Nico does have a curved monitor that
and they're not that
loves.
honestly, they're both curved, dude, and I don't even notice it. Like the top one I can notice it a little bit more because I think it's because it's sitting higher and I look up at it. I could notice it a little bit more. But it's not like jarring, like, oh my god, it's curved. This fucking sucks. Like,
Yeah.
like it's not really noticed, especially when you're gaming, like, and you're sitting right in front of it, like I am right now, looking at this screen. I don't know if I could ever go back to a regular screen. You know what I mean? Like if I could go back to a non-ultra wide screen. I like the wideness of it. Like I even thought about looking at those monitors that are like the 40-inch ultra wides or the 45-inch ultra wides, like the really long ones.
Yeah.
I'm like, that would be kind of cool to have on your desk, dude. Like some really wide ass. But I think it would be kind of hard to like play Battlefield on or something because you have such a wide screen. But like this one, the 34-inch is a perfect size because it doesn't cover my whole. I mean, it covers a quite large section on my desk, yes.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't have a lot of desk space, right? It's a lot bigger setup than I had before, but yeah, I could probably fit two monitors here, but yeah, or one.
I would, Gunny, I don't know, man.
Wide.
If you could fit that 31.5-inch that you're gonna buy, I think you could fit the 32-inch ultra wide on there. Like I said, it's just a bigger, different aspect. Like it's not as tall as the one you're gonna buy. It's a little bit shorter, but it's gonna be wider. You know what I mean? Just
yeah.
The only downside to it is that some games, not a lot of them actually, but some still do release without ultra wide support. But it's very rare nowadays that I've
like I hear Michelle talk about that on VGO. Like, oh, it doesn't support it.
It's like super rare that I run into it though. Like there'll be times where like some indie game or something does not support it, but it's kind of rare. Like a lot of games, I would say about 98 to 99% of games out there support ultra wide. Like they just do. It just works. It just it'll fit the screen. It works. And when it doesn't, it sucks, but you can get used to it because all it does is it kind of puts like the black bars on the side, like a movie theater, right? Like a movie, like. When you watch a movie at home, you have the black bars on top and bottom. It does the same thing as that. So I think that you'll be fine with an ultra wide regardless. If I was going to buy a monitor and I didn't have an ultra wide, I'd be looking at the Alienware OLED for a lot less cheaper than $1,100, or I'd be looking at the $1,200 one for the G-Sync and all that good shit. Because this one, I don't know if it's going to be worth it. I mean,
yeah, we'll see in the next few months, right? Like I'm still doing research on it, so sure.
I would say look at those Alienwares, man. They're nice. They're really nice. I found mine on Amazon. That's where I bought mine through. Yeah, they're not too bad. And I haven't had any issues with my monitor, man. Thank God, honestly. But see, like even on Amazon,
flickering or anything like that.
None of that shit. But look, I'm looking at Amazon right now, Gunny, and I typed Alienware OLED, and they even have the one that's at Best Buy on here for cheaper than Best Buy. They have it for the same price Dell has it for $650.
Okay, yeah.
And They have an LG OLED for $799, which is a G-Sync. It's a 34-inch, and that looks nice. But they also have like the 49-inch. Some like I don't know what brand this is. CN.
Yeah, I saw those today, and I was like, I'm going to stay away from anything I don't really recognize. I'm just going to stick with the name
Yeah,
brands
I don't know what the
for
fuck
3-year
this is.
warranty.
What kind of brand this is? I mean, it's a 49-inch. It's 40. That's pretty big. 49-inch OLED with 144 hertz display. But yeah, a lot of these on here are not bad. You could buy a 50. What's an Alienware 55? The world's first 55-inch OLED gaming monitor, Gunny.
Damn.
There you go, Gunny.
You imagine playing
Only $1,500.
the next Red Dead or GTA or yeah, the
It's
next God of
a
War on that.
55-inch fucking monitor. That's fucking huge. That's like a TV.
That's a little
dude.
too big, yeah.
That's like a TV, man. That's for people that want to game in like the living room as a TV.
Yeah, this thing's going to be really close to me. Yeah, I don't need a monitor that big.
But yeah, I would say a curved monitor isn't that bad, dude. I think you would actually enjoy it.
You know what I'm going to do? I think they have it. I think they do display some of them at Best Buy. I should just go sit there and bring a sandwich and just stare at it for like 30 minutes or whatever. Like, how's this working out? Like, oh, I mean, they got a fucking 4K HD movie running on it, you know?
Yeah.
Pull up a chair.
I do like the Alienware one. I will say this, the back of it is white, which is kind of weird. I never see the back of mine, or like the bottom, the stand is kind of big too. Like, just so you know, if you ever buy the Alienware one, the stand when that comes with it is kind of big. It has like big legs. What I did with my monitors is I bought a stand on Amazon where I could put both of them on, and I have them mounted top to bottom, you know, like that's how I have mine mounted.
Yeah.
But the stand that actually comes with the Alienware is a big fucking stand, because the monitor itself is kind of heavy. Like, it's not a light monitor. It's kind of heavy for like what it is. But it's a big fucking stand that comes with it, dude. So it takes up quite a bit of your desk space. Honestly, like if your desk is not very deep, those fucking legs will come out like halfway to your desk. You're like, what the fuck? Why is this so big? That's because the monitor is fucking heavy, dude. Like, it really is heavy as fuck.
Yeah, especially an OLED, like where it's got a lot of the components on the back or lot of the brains of it.
But it's 175 hertz, Gunny. I think you'll like it. 34 inches. And right now, so actually, I found the one that I have on Amazon, Gunny, and I'm jealous because this is now $850 brand new. So, yeah, it's not a bad monitor at all.
Yeah, I'll put those Alienware's ones in my.
I see. It says, look here. It says last purchase November 30th, 2022. This is the last time I bought one of these, which is the one I'm using. But yeah, I've never had any issues with that, dude, at all. Like, it's a great monitor. I love this monitor. It's really nice.
Yeah,
so
we even have a 27.
They do. They have a 27 and a 26 and a half.
Okay.
27 is 589. 26.7 is 749. Why the fuck is the 26.7 more expensive?
Oh, that's the 1440.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, because it doesn't have G-Sync. The 27-inch one don't have G-Sync, and it's not curved. Go for the 34, Gunny. Just fucking go out, bro. Don't skimp, bro. Go all out. Go hard. Go fast. Live fast, Gunny. Okay.
Whatever tariffs, we don't care. Just live. Yeah.
Fuck them tariffs. Yeah, you gotta show them tariffs what's up, bro. You fucking buy that big monitor. Yeah. Okay. What else do we have?
Anything else in there? Let me see.
For me,
you got me over here looking at monitors. Oh, I've got one here. Got one here, Jesus. So I don't know. So Dr. Disrespect, the years-long saga of Dr. Disrespects took several significant turns in the last 24 hours. Well, more like the last 48, actually. So Guy Beam was demonetized by YouTube, his main streaming platform, after admitting that his ban from Twitch 4 years ago was due to inappropriately messaging a minor, something he claimed was bait for journalists. However, after reapplying, YouTube has reversed its decision, allowing him to stream and earn on the platform once more. Separately, on the very same day, Midnight Society, the studio Dr. Disrespect founded with former Infinity Ward higher-up Robert Bowling, announced it was closing. The studio has been developing an extraction shooter called Dead Drop. The closure has resulted in 55 people losing their jobs. Previously, the studio has fired Dr. Disrespect and removed all his imagery from the game after confirming the reason for his ban. Didn't we talk about this? I think we talked about like there would still be like this stain on even after like they say that they got rid of him. So yeah, I could be wrong on that, but I remember this is like the second time or after his, well, I want to say it was his second Twitch ban, but yeah, when he just suddenly went off the air or whatever, and then, put up all kinds of shit on social media and just talking about, well, he didn't talk much about the company, but I guess Richard Bowling, I think, was talking about, hey, man, he's canned, he's gone, we're removing him, and we're going to continue to work on the game. And I thought, I want to say I said on the show, it was like, I don't think it's going to happen. I think there's just too much, his name is too much associated since he's a co-founder of this. So even though I thought it's not going to happen. So not surprised, I'm not saying it should have or whatever. But yeah, it sucks, could have been a good game, but then, I just don't think it would be successful or start from scratch, I think that's what they'll end up having to do. So, but yeah, anything else on here? Says here that Dr. Speck seems to have retained significant portions of his audience, often streaming to around 20,000 concurrent viewers. He's even secured a big deal with the anti-cancel culture streaming site Rumble, where he leads his gaming division. So is he streaming on Rumble? I don't know. What's Rumble? I don't know if I have that app. So now with his remonetization of YouTube, it remains to be seen what's next. Will he, what's his next move? Let's see here. It's set to continue earning significant amounts of money in the end, while Dr. Disrespect has returned to a similar position as before. It comes at a cost. Most brands avoid working with him, and many of his former streaming colleagues distance themselves. So, yet he remains a prominent figure in the streaming world. YouTube's response to his reinstatement was fairly standard. So, yeah, that's Dr. Disrespect news for you. Kind of where we're at with that. One other thing, Jesus, I don't know if you're interested in it. Sid Meier's Civ 7. That's coming out here next week, February 11th.
Okay.
Is that something you're interested in, or have you looked at?
I'm probably going to buy it.
Yeah, so this is kind of going to be available everywhere. I say everywhere. PS5, PS4, Xbox Series S and X, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and Steam also works with Mac and Linux and the Epic Game Store. Now, I did look at, because Civ 6 is on iOS, and I'm sure it's on the Google Play Store as well. So not yet. It doesn't even, there's no mention of it, but they usually don't bring it right away. So I will bet you, for you iOS and Google Play users, if you're just not a console or PC person, wait for this to come to the, play it on your tablet, play it on your phone. So I'll bet you it's going to be out.
It'll come to iPad like next year, I bet.
Yep. I want to say this year, because I checked Aspire,
I don't know if it'll be this
the website, and there was no mention news about it. But yeah, I'll bet you Aspire is already working on this. So even Netflix Gaming has their own version of Civ 6. Not their own version, but they also publish it.
I'm sure they are, but I'm thinking next year.
Yeah. I think it'll be out sooner. We'll make a bet. I'm going to say October 2025. Civ 7 on phones, tablets. I wonder too, is it like a game that's only available on, iPhone 11, 12, Galaxy, whatever the fuck. So yeah, or does it kind of run on everything? So you probably have to have the latest versions of them. So to run on, it's not a, taxing game that, these run on. So yeah, especially if you already look and saw that it's coming to Xbox One, PS4. Oh yeah, it should run fine on an iPad Pro or Galaxy 24 or whatever. So
for sure.
Yep.
In other news today, I was watching someone play Call of Duty on a fucking Xbox One, like an Xbox One S. They were playing the new Call of Duty Warzone or whatever on them. I'm like, what the fuck? Like it actually didn't look that bad. It looks more cartoony than it does on the PC, right? Like I play on the PC at ultra settings or whatever.
Oh, that's right. They had to
But
get
watching it,
Warzone on there. Yep.
but I was watching them play Warzone on the like the new Warzone, like Resurgence or whatever, on fucking Xbox One S, and I was like, this doesn't look that bad for like being such an old console. Like this is kind of crazy that people are, and there was a lot of people playing it, and I'm like, this is kind of crazy. Like people are still playing this, like on an Xbox One S.
Yeah. Right. That's the beauty of like, what Activision can do, right? Like how they can just lower all this shit to, yeah. I mean,
cartoon style graphics, and it still works.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And then,
I used to play that on the old S.
And these people, their house, because they lived on a reservation.
The one S.
They live on a reservation, so their house was like at a res, right? And they don't have fiber optic there because it's a reservation. So they're using Starlink as their Wi-Fi. And I was like, wow, this is pretty crazy. Like Starlink is out here.
Yeah.
Like I know these are the people that need Starlink. Holy shit! Like because I always thought like, who the fuck needs Starlink? I guess people in the middle of nowhere need Starlink to be able to use the internet like decently at their house.
That's an option for me at my little mountain house where I'm using something called MediaCom. It's probably like a little small company because Comcast and AT&T are not available there. Mm-hmm. So I mean, it's a big enough housing community. They would probably have to run some serious cable, across the mountain. But we look at that. We're probably gonna look at that as well to see, what are the options with Starlink.
Look at Starlink, man, because Starlink also just recently partnered with, and because if you didn't know this, people that are out there listening, if you have a T-Mobile phone, if you're part of T-Mobile, like if you're T-Mobile
that works good. I've tried it.
But actually, no, Starlink has partnered with T-Mobile, and they're doing beta testing right now for iPhone users on T-Mobile. Pretty much to where, like, the way it's going to work, they say, is if you have an iPhone on T-Mobile network, if you're part of this beta test, what happens is when you're out of range of a tower or your tower signal becomes weak, like say you just don't have really good service with the tower, your phone will automatically connect with the satellite from Starlink, and you will have cell phone service via Starlink, which is kind of wild to me to think like, so they're filling in the gaps of what their towers can't do or the areas where they can't provide service with Starlink. And that's fucking genius. Why has no other cell phone?
I feel like that's an awesome free update that I got.
Like what? Why haven't more cell phone companies thought of this? Like especially AT&T, right? Because AT&T is the one that has like the contract with the government for like first responders and shit. Like I don't know if you know this, but AT&T has like the contract for like the whole country pretty much for like whatever it's called. It's called something tel. Like it's like the fucking first responders fucking cell phone network. It's a cell phone network for like police, fire, and EMS or whatever, like medical, like transports or whatever, right? Like it's what they use to talk to each other, like police and everyone. They use that shit from AT&T to talk to each other. Now I'm thinking to myself, if I was AT&T, I would be pissed right now that T-Mobile got this Starlink shit. I'd be trying to make a deal with Elon Musk too and be like, yo, man, give me your Starlink shit over here too. Like, we want Starlink over here. I mean, I have AT&T. I don't mind. Their service is pretty decent. But there is areas where there's it's crazy because I'll have bars of service like in the middle of nowhere. Like I could still call someone and talk to them on the phone. I could still text someone, but I can't send like a photo to someone, or it won't let me like if I pull up a web browser, it just won't load the web browser. Like it's just
that's how I feel like
it
is on my T-Mobile.
Like fuck you, you have service, motherfucker. You can call people, but you can't use your internet or you can't text someone a photo or receive photos or anything like that. But you can use your phone like a normal phone. Like so there's gaps in the coverage of AT&T in that terms where I'm like thinking if they had to deal with the satellite company, they could just say like, all right, during this time, we'll just link you to a satellite company and you'll be using their shit while you're out here.
So this is one of the way it works, Jesus. So when I'm in a little town called Albion on Fridays, it's not even really a town; it's more of an area. So no T-Mobile service, right?
Yeah.
So it will pop up. It'll say, "Hey, we've got Starlink is available." So what happens is, so this I probably need to get out of the truck for this one. So, but I've tried doing it while sitting in my truck, and basically it'll say, "All right, so." Hold your phone down flat, whatever, and then you've got to find the satellite by either rotating your phone left or right.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay. So then once you connect to the satellite, you got to like hold it in that position, and you can send text messages, and I think you can now do photos, but you can't like move the phone to the right or whatever and then do it. Like you've got to keep following that satellite as it orbits the Earth or whatever you want to call it. Like, yeah, like it, and then it'll move, right? And then the next set of satellites come in, right? Because he's got them around the world. Like, oh, there's some new satellites coming, like, yeah, they're coming over the horizon or whatever. Like, you got to turn your phone to the right. All right, connect to those. And man, they move pretty fast too. So so then, yeah, but it works like boom, like text goes right through immediately. But eventually, like, they're going to do like where you're going to be able to make phone calls, right? Emergency phone calls, just call your mom. I don't know. Like, that's cool. I thought that was pretty neat. So yeah, it's all free, like part of the update. So
yeah, you can sign up for their beta at T-Mobile's website. And like I said, yeah, it's to eliminate the dead zones that you have when you don't have service.
Yeah, I didn't have to sign up for anything. It was just automatic. So
Well, that's weird. Yeah, but yeah, right now they have Starlink has 330 satellites up in the sky, and they plan to launch more.
Oh, you want to hear something cool, Jesus? So when I go to the Fiji Islands, which is where my wife's from, so you figure no, I wouldn't say it's zero light pollution, but almost non-existent.
Yeah.
So yeah, literally you can just see them things just like fly over when there's like no moon. Like, oh my gosh, there they go. They just flew over. Like, yeah, but you can see a lot of satellites actually. So yeah, it's pretty damn awesome. So like how many different satellites you can see over there.
All right, man. That's all I have for news.
Yeah, that's it for me. Nothing else. So
All right. Well, we're out of here, Gunny. Where can we find you?
go find me, Gunny Chief, playing mostly on the PC on Steam. And, I'm still on the Game Pass. I'm on the Xbox. I played with an Xbox user today, so I'm still in the ecosystem. Even though all my stuff's going to PlayStation 5, but that's okay. It's still on Xbox, right? For the meantime.
Yep.
Not playing with discs. I'm playing digitally, but where you can find me. Where do we find you, Jesus?
Find me on everything as Jesus Walkslot. I'll be playing more games and stuff this week. I'll be playing some Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. And then next week I'll be playing some Civ 7. I want to get Monster Hunter this month as well.
What's the Monster Hunter one called? There's so many different ones out there. Like
Monster Hunter something. I don't know. Monster Hunter. I don't know what it's called.
The new one.
The new one. I'm playing that. But yeah, that's where you can find me.
Find the Mayo at the Mayo 1 or the Mayo.
Yeah, find them. And yeah, we're out of here. Anyways, peace out, Brussels sprouts. We'll catch you on the next edition of the Horrible Gamers podcast. And yeah, bye everyone. Bye.
Bye.